lights went out in Silent Pines, and everything changed. The night the lights went out in Silent Pines, the town seemed to hold its breath. No hum of electricity, no flicker of neon signs, just an endless blackness swallowing the streets whole. Snow muffled every sound, making the darkness feel even heavier, as if the town was trapped beneath a thick, suffocating blanket. People hurried to their windows, eyes searching for something familiar amid the void. But the world outside was gone, replaced by a silence so profound it seemed almost alive. Mara, a librarian who had lived in Silent Pines all her life, felt the darkness pressing against her skin as she wrapped her shawl tighter. Her breath formed small clouds in the freezing air. She stepped outside, drawn by a strange impulse to confront the void swallowing her town. The familiar pine trees loomed like silent sentinels, their branches heavy with snow, casting long, twisting shadows that seemed to shift when she wasn't looking. A chill deeper than the cold settled in her bones. As Mara walked down the empty street, her footsteps sounded unnaturally loud in the stillness. She noticed that every house was dark, windows like empty eyes staring back at her. The usual comforting sounds, distant laughter, barking dogs, the hum of heaters were gone, replaced by a whispering wind that seemed to carry voices just beyond comprehension. She shook her head, telling herself it was only the wind, but the feeling of being watched crept under her skin. Suddenly, Mara froze. From the edge of the forest, a faint glow flickered like a candle struggling against the night. She squinted, trying to make out what it was. The light pulsed gently, then vanished. Her heart pounded as she debated whether to investigate or retreat. The woods had always been a place of whispered rumors, stories of things that shouldn't exist beyond the trees. But tonight, something felt different. The darkness seemed to be alive, watching, as if Silent Pines itself was holding a secret, waiting to be uncovered. Back in her home, Mara lit a candle, its small flame trembling as if afraid. She found an old journal buried in a drawer, pages yellowed and brittle. The entries were written by the town's founder, speaking of strange occurrences and disappearances whenever the lights failed. The last entry was incomplete, ending abruptly with a warning. When the dark comes, it does not leave. It waits, hungry. Chills ran down Mara's spine as the candle flickered wildly, shadows dancing against the walls. Outside, the wind howled like a lost soul, sweeping snowflakes into spirals that looked almost like distorted faces. Mara's phone lay dead on the table, no signal, no power. She realized this blackout was no accident, no simple failure. Something unseen had settled over Silent Pines, twisting the night into a living nightmare. Her mind raced, imagining the shadows moving just beyond her sight, waiting for the moment to step forward. The silence was no longer empty. It was a presence patient, watching, and hungry. Mara stepped to the window again, heart hammering. In the distance, between the dark trees, something moved, a shadow detached from the rest, gliding silently. She blinked, and it was gone. Was it real, or was the darkness playing tricks on her mind? She wanted to believe it was just her fear, but deep down, she knew that once the lights went out in Silent Pines, everything changed. The night was no longer just night. It was a doorway, and something was waiting on the other side.